So the Monument Quilt project is a project where a lot of different individuals have put together quilts, and these quilts are utilized to express the abuse that they suffered, or maybe even the triumph that they suffered after they came out of the abuse.
The Monument Quilt project was actually a project that they put together to help remember and tell the stories of rape survivors. And what they did was they also incorporated survivors of domestic violence and the murdered and missing Indigenous women.
Quilts are put together to create this enormous quilt, and the enormity of the quilt brings people to the quilt, which then allows these women and some men to spread their message of hope. And people see the quilt. What I got out of it, being a person who suffered abuse myself, was that I'm not by myself.
We went global, and it's amazing how many people have experienced sexual assault, domestic violence, and we just wanted the world to know that we know now what to do. We know now where to go.
There are so many other people who are experiencing this, and so I'm not alone in my pain and in my suffering. And then it also gave me the hope.
Victimized by the system, by the police, by hospitals, by just everyone. A lot of times victims feel like they're told, well, it's your fault because you did this, or it's, that's what they come away feeling like. And it leaves them feeling very vulnerable and without power, and being able to have all of those quilts out there and being able to say, we understand what you're going through, and having not only victims be able to voice, but to have their families voice and people who support them be
with a little bit of a call to action. That response from the first responder is the most critical response. And that could be you. As a mom, a dad, a friend, a coworker, you may be that first responder. And if you respond in a positive way where you believe that person and you listen and you provide them with support, they're going to have less psychological symptoms. They're going to be more likely to seek out additional help. They're going to be less likely to have poor physical health outcomes. So you can really make a difference in changing that path for that person. But if you respond negatively, if you don't believe them, if you ask them a bunch of accusatory or why questions, why were you dressed like that? Why'd you go out? Why'd you let him up to your room? That leads to poorer health and psychological health outcomes for that person. They're less likely to seek counseling and help. They're less likely to report to the police. So I would ask all of you to just please be kind and compassionate if someone does disclose to you. Think about how your response can affect them down the line.